Hey guys, Shoutstar or Joe the Editor, however you know me as. Alright, so continuing my setup, displaying what I use to work. I already talked about my mouse, I already talked about my keyboard, and I already talked about my Focusrite Scarlett 2i4, right? For audio. I definitely encourage people to use that or something like this for audio. Or if you have a good audio card in your motherboard, then you probably don't need this, but this guy is awesome because it's portable and I can take it with me, which I am. I already have plans to go to Taipei with Paul, so this guy's definitely going with me. Aside from all that, this is my second keyboard that I learned from like Taran from Linus Tech Tip. So you can see here pretty much everything that has a white paper on it is a macro that I assigned to it, right? Now, for me mainly I use a lot of like numerical values, right? Since Paul likes to use a lot of time-lapse in his footage, pretty much these numbers up here are percentages, right? From like 1000, 750, and so on. Some video clips, I just speed them up by these numerical values, right? Now, I don't really have an order of how I have these macros organized. To be honest, I pretty much like when I need a macro I create it, then I just find a spot that I feel fits, right? So that's pretty much what I do. These down here are mainly for audio, so I normalize the audio peak levels to either 0, 24, 15, -4, 30. These guys are mainly for music down here. Like I drop it down to -30, -35, the volume of the music, so it can be more background music and shit like that. And got these for sound effects and whatnot. So this is great. This is definitely cool because actually I have more keys to use as macros, right? The only thing is you got to use this specific software to tell the computer, hey, you know what, this is a individual device, because when you connect two keyboards to a computer, it sees it as a single device. So if I type K here, it thinks I'm typing K there, and it's pretty much mirroring itself, it's not its own individual thing. So yeah, Taran does a better job of explaining that than I would, so I'm gonna like put a link to his videos so you can check it out to see what he does. Now, having a second keyboard has been awesome. It is awesome. It definitely is. The only problem is that this thing, it's bigger and longer, and the thing is when I go to travel with Paul to either Taipei or Las Vegas, this thing could take up a lot of space. And not only that, to set up this second keyboard on a computer, it takes some time and work because like the software, you got to do it in a certain manner, and yeah, fuck all that. Like I said, you check out his video and you can see how much work that is. And like also like some people have been having problems with it, so like he made a separate video how to delete that software if you're having problems. So anyways, to avoid all that, I take this guy with me. This is the Logic Shit G13. It's a good guy. It's a good thing. This actually came from Paul, and this thing has its own software, so you can like program the keys however you want. So for traveling reasons, I mainly like to take this guy with me because it's smaller. It's pretty durable. Using the software to record your macros is a lot easier, right? So when I went to Vegas, I actually took this guy with me. It does have built-in memory, so I can record my macros that I use when I travel. And when I come back home, I can use it for something else, and I still have it saved up, which is pretty awesome, right? Here at home, it doesn't have much of functionality besides like just jumping between like panels. So yeah, I mean that's mainly what I use it for here. Yeah, I just jump between like windows and all this stuff. So, and also like I use it to jump between like software, apps and all that as well. See, I just push a few buttons and just quickly jump in between like apps and all that. And it does save me time, because like instead of being like using the mouse, finding what I need and clicking it, those few little nanoseconds, like I said, they do add up. So I do use this keypad to jump around windows and all that stuff. And I got a few keys up here that are open for me to use for whatever I want, right? So far, that's pretty much my layout. So my mouse with all these like macros here on the side. My keyboard here with all my lights and laid out along with some macros. This thing, again with macros, I can jump around windows. My audio device and my second keyboard here. In regards to like my workstation, this is pretty much what I got. Now I do have like 4 monitors that I edit with. For the most part, personally, I only use these 2 throughout the day. I got one main one where I just watch videos or whatever, and I got a second one where I could just have my files all set up, whatever. But when I work, I'll probably go into another video on how I work with all these monitors. But as for peripherals, I guess this is mainly it that I'm using, right? I would much rather have another Corsair keyboard that I use primarily for macros and doing this method. Even though this method works, but it is a pain in the ass. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but to use auto hotkeys and write out the scripts to write out the commands that you want, because that's how it works. You gotta like use a script. You gotta type everything out on what macros you want to use, right? Whereas something like the macros here, you just hit record, you punch out what you want it to do, hit stop, and it saves it, which is definitely a lot faster and a lot easier. And the cool thing about that is, if you want to like switch your macros, in this case you probably have to copy and paste and paste it wherever key you want. But with this guy, you can just click and drag wherever you want the macro to be at. It's a lot easier to switch around your keys than it is with this thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I don't know. Don't know what else to say. So that's pretty much it for my peripherals. So thanks for watching. So take care, peace.